Hey everyone, this is the ShutInBakas. My name is Chris. So, today we are here for She Professed Herself the Pupil of the Wise Man, Kendishi. So, this is a show that I had been meaning to watch because it got some promotion from other shows, and just recently, I'm sure if you watch me, you watch other anime-related YouTubers. One of the big ones, CDogVA, created a voice acting video where he talked about the very big industry of Japanese voice acting and what you have to go through to be a voice actor in Japan. And he did some voice lines for the show She Professed Herself the Pupil of the Wise Man, but obviously not an official matter. It's just like, little fun thing to do, not like actual airing on TV or anything. But anyway, I watched the show because I was intrigued. I also bought the first version of the first volume of the light novel on Bookwalker. I'll make a review on Bookwalker soon, because I don't think enough people know about that, and I think if you're into source material, you should get into it. But anyway, that's a different topic. So, this is a isekai about a guy who played a VR MMO. In the in the light novel, in the light novel, basically, they say it's in the year 2118 or something like that. And basically VR has basically taken over the world. It's like a very important thing. Like, everybody goes to school in VR now. They don't leave their homes. They go to VR for work. They talk to clients. They buy things in VR. It's basically a world created in VR, and for a 2014 novel, that was very, very accurate to how things are going. With, stuff like the metaverse being created by Facebook, although first impressions of that doesn't look too good. Not that I would use it, honestly. I would rather just, go talk to someone instead of, VR, but that's just me. I mean, this coming from the ShutInBakas, I would rather go talk to someone than talk to some stupid avatar. But anyway... so basically, he gets into this VR MMORPG, and he plays it for about 4 years. And he's playing this character called Gandalf or something. I can never say the name correctly. He's basically this old man who's a wizard, a summoner, and he basically based his look off of fictional real-life characters like Gandalf and all those, big wizard men. And he has some leftover currency in his account, because, of course it's VR MMO, you have to buy things. And he spends the last of his expiring currency on a little, cosmetic pack, which you can change your character completely with, which he originally used to create his character. So he changed it to say, let's see what I would look like as the ideal wizard woman. So he basically set the character to a woman, and was like, yeah, okay, that's pretty cute, but I still like my manly character, the big gruff wizard. And basically, he was doing that all night. He got called for breakfast or whatever, and he fell asleep accidentally. But he awakes, and he finds that he is a woman. He is the girl that he portrayed himself as in the character creation. He didn't click accept on it, by the way, as far as he's aware. He might have accidentally, but... anyway, I wanted to actually just quickly talk about how the beginning of the light novel and manga is completely different to the anime beginning. Sort of. It's a bit weird. I haven't got very far into the light novel yet. I'm only on chapter 3, but that's already enough. Completely different. So, basically, the anime starts off with our big wizard man going off to slay an entire army of goblins, and he does so easily as his big, manly wizard self, or older wizard man self, and he eventually logs off after having, done the quest, and he doesn't log off, sorry, he does his character creation. Oh, wait, no, actually, they didn't really explain this very well in the anime, sorry. I'm trying to remember these things because they didn't explain it well at all. But basically, he just kind of shows back up randomly. It says 30 years later, the white hair girl shows up. And I felt that was very weird considering they had two different versions, the manga and the light novel, which do the exact same opening. And yet they chose to do it in the different for the anime. It's really weird. And overall, basically, in the original light novel, it does everything that I just talked about before, about the world and how he got into the VR MMO, how he changed the character. He wakes up and he doesn't realize he's a girl, so he goes off to slay these monsters, which he was told to do that by his king, but in the light novel he didn't get to slay them yet. And so eventually he got to it and he slayed them. And he finds out after the battle by this guy calling him a girl, or a little miss or whatever. And he's like, wait a minute, I'm a man, who else is here? And then he sees his reflection in the armor of the big knight dude, and he's like, what the fuck? I'm a woman! Yeah, and for some reason it just kind of changed that, for no reason, really. It doesn't make any sense. I'm really confused about that. It just doesn't make any sense why they changed that, because it was a fine opening, like, it made sense. But that's my only gripe, really. Other than that, that's fine. Sorry, that was a bit of a rant about a light novel versus anime adaptation. I don't do that very often, so if you want to hear me talk about more light novels, which I'm reading, and manga, let me know, because I'm more than happy to talk about that, because I own a shit ton of manga and light novels and all sorts, so let me know. Moving on. I just want to talk about quickly the simul dub. I watched this entirely dubbed. Pretty much. I did watch the first episode subbed because I was interested. But the dub is coming out every week the same week as the sub. Now that's interesting in my opinion, because basically it's just completely simul dub. Like, it's not a week delay. It's not a 2-week delay. Like, Demon Slayer still hasn't had its dub for, you know, the new season, which I find very weird considering Demon Slayer is so much more popular than this. But maybe the voice actors are caught up, who knows. But I want to say the dub for this show is actually surprisingly good for being a simul dub. And I think that's mainly for the main girl, because the girl in the light novel is described to basically be a high-pitched, you know, young girl, but has all the mannerisms and verbal tics as the old man Gandalf, or whatever the guy's name was before. And it's really fun, because basically you just got this girl that sounds like an old man. It's kind of funny, but it is also a bit, you know, it just throws you off a bit, like, why is he talking like that? Oh, right, you're not a girl, I forgot. So, yeah, it's just a constant reminder that this is not a woman, this is a man, pretending to be an old man as a woman. So, it makes so much sense, of course. So, yeah, overall, it's a good dub. I think all of the characters fit their voices, or the voices fit the characters, that is, sorry. And the only real thing I can complain about is obviously the beginning changed dramatically for no particular reason, and the animation is very subpar. Like, the character models look good, like the designs, I really like the designs, but the animation overall, it's like Spirit Chronicles level, where it's just like, it feels like a PNG being dragged across the screen sometimes. And the amount of 3D CG they use is kind of meh, but honestly, they've done the 3D CG well enough to the point where, at a distance, it's kind of hard to tell, so that's at least one thing I can compliment them on. It's being done by Studio ACAT, which they have done, of course they've done, I actually haven't checked this up until right now, but of course they did Battle Game in 5 Seconds, because that game is very similar. This series is basically just Danganronpa, but not. And yeah, they haven't really done much else that I'm aware of here. I've heard of LBX girls, but that's it, really. So, yeah, again, another studio that not really well known, but hopefully they can, you know, push themselves up a bit, you know, because we need more competition in the, you know, animation sphere, right? We can't just keep having it so that the main studios who do a good job, Studio, Cloverworks, Kyoto, Madhouse, and that's it. Like, I mean, yes, there's lots of other studios that do good work, but like those are the three that like consistently do really good. Oh, and Ufotable, of course. But we need more studios that can be like, okay, we'll splurge a bit, you know, we'll give you a teensy bit of good stuff. Like last time where I just talked about Slow Loop. That's a really good looking show. But there's no action in that show, so, you know, gotta give it some credit. It's not wasting all of its budget on animation for action scenes. Anyway, I'm rambling now, like usual. So, do I recommend you go watch She Professed Herself the Pupil of the Wise Man? No, not really. It's not a great show. It really is a 6 at best so far. It's incredibly mediocre. I would rather say read the light novel, because if you go into Bookwalker, there's a little like coin 50% back thing, which I'll talk about in a different video, but for the moment, I would recommend reading the manga or light novel, because those seem to be much better versions of this show, or of the original material, considering the light novel is the original material, so yeah. Anyway, thanks all for watching. Hit like, subscribe, comment telling me if you've seen this show. What do you think about it? I'm very conflicted as to what I feel about this show, because I like the designs, I like the idea. It's just not well executed in this anime at all. So, I could do a review on the first volume when I finish it, if people are interested in that. But, aside from that, we'll probably just have to wait until this season is done, and then I can make a full season review. Yeah, anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.